here has met a deaf person? I have. The first person I ever met was deaf. My mother is a deaf person, as is my brother. And my entire life has been touched by my proximity to these two deaf individuals. As a result of this, my life from birth through early and late childhood and into adulthood has been different of those of my peers. I have had the privilege of growing up in a bicultural, bilingual household with active members of the deaf community as members of my household. In my early childhood, I remember going to deaf events at the Indiana School for the Deaf with my mother and seeing her interact with deaf people in a way that she just couldn't interact with me. And I remember thinking, why can't I be a part of this? I speak ASL fluently, so why am I being left out? And I remember with my hearing friends, their parents would call the other children that were coming to stay at their house, and because they couldn't call my mom, I was not allowed to stay, and I was left out of that as well. Into late childhood, and I remember having miscommunications and misunderstanding social cues. Like in the deaf community, it is rude to break eye contact while someone is speaking to you. But in the hearing community, it is rude to have eye contact for more than 15 seconds. And I didn't know this. And I found myself in a group of other children of deaf adults, or CODAs, where they had similar experiences to me, and they became friends into my adulthood because of our shared life experiences. And that leads me to where I am today. I found myself at the Vincennes University American Sign Language and Deaf Culture Studies campus in Indianapolis at the Indiana School for the Deaf. And my life has come full circle. I go to school where I once felt left out. I want to help my mom, who has had legal troubles because an interpreter didn't show up, or had surgery postponed because her interpreter did not show up. And I want to help others in the community as well. In closing, I would like you to think about the deaf people that you know and their potential lives, the lives of their children, and how they communicate with each other. From the time I was born, ASL and the deaf culture has been a huge part of my life, and it probably always will be. Mothers shape who their children become, and just because mine spoke a different language does not mean that she was any different in this way. She made me a part of the deaf community.